time by Sagicor is
7 p.m.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, disturbing investigation underway after violent patient shot and wounded at Kingston Public Hospital. How did we get here? A timeline of Jamaica's biggest fraud case after 3 former SSL executives charged. And later in our business feature, Small Biz Big Dreams, success after Melissa, the story of a St. Elizabeth fruit vendor. And later in sports, Tivoli Gardens sink Phoenix Chaperton Maroons 2-0 in the Jamaica Premier League.
Making it easier for you to order your favorite pizzas, no waste no time. So you can do it online.
Now you can order Pizza Hut online at pizzahutjamaica.com or through WhatsApp at 876-837-4488. Pizza Hut, now that's...
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smile. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. Digicel is gifting smiles this season. 64 lucky customers will win $250,000 cash, and the third two getting $50,000 in groceries. You can also win Samsung tablets, furniture vouchers, and so much more. Gift Espa, you can keep your prize, or you give all our partners to someone who really needs a smile. This season isn't just about winning, it's about making sure everybody good. Cash Digital in your community, bringing gifts and good cheer to keep you smiling into the new year.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for this Monday, December 29, 2025. I'm Amoy Howard. Thanks for joining us. Up first, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, and the police are investigating the circumstances that led to a shooting at the Kingston Public Hospital this morning. It's reported that a patient attacked a police officer responding to a stabbing incident on one of the wards. The man who was shot by police remains in hospital under treatment. Now, the incident happened sometime after 5 Monday morning when police were called to the facility following reports that a 48-year-old man who was being admitted to the surgical ward attacked a 13-year-old patient with a pencil, causing superficial injuries to his chest. The man reportedly threatened 2 nurses before fleeing the ward and later attacking a security guard. When officers arrived, it's alleged that the patient turned on one of the policemen. Now, SSP Dennis Brooks, who's senior communication strategist within the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Police personnel assigned to the Kingston Public Hospital were forced to discharge a firearm early Monday morning after responding to reports of a violent disturbance inside one of the hospital's wards. The incident happened shortly before 6 a.m., where officers were alerted that a male patient was attacking other patients along with the hospital staff. Upon arrival, the members of the police force encountered the man. He was armed with what appeared to be a gray pipe. Despite repeated instructions to drop the object, the man reportedly refused and advanced towards the officers in a very threatening manner. They retreated while continuing to issue verbal commands, but he continued to advance with the object in his hand. And so the officer discharged his firearm, and the injured man was taken for medical treatment.
After a more than 2-year probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at Stocks and Securities Limited, 3 former directors will now face the courts in the coming weeks after being charged for their involvement in the scam. But after nearly 2 decades in operation, how did one of Jamaica's most trusted investment firms end up here? Tonight, we take a look at how it all unfolded. It all started in October 2022 when staff at SSL began noticing something wasn't right. Client account statements weren't adding up. Notably, the Financial Services Commission (FSC) had flagged SSL as far back as 2017 for a, quote, culture of non-compliance and mismanagement of client funds. Now, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness was also a client before giving instructions in September 2021 for his account at SSL to be closed. An internal probe soon uncovered falsified documents allegedly created by a client relationship manager later identified as Jean Panton. By January 2023, the situation escalated. SSL officially reported the suspected fraud to the FSC, and on January 13, the firm closed its offices to clients as investigations intensified. Days later, on January 20, police seized documents and other materials from the home of Miss Panton. By February 17, she was charged with theft, fraud, forgery, and cybercrime offenses linked to the alleged falsification of client accounts and the theft of funds. Now, around the same time, the FBI stepped in to help with further investigations following speculations that Miss Panton didn't act alone. Now, as the probe deepened, the scale of the fallout became clear. Investigators revealed that more than 200 client accounts were impacted, involving over 30 million US dollars, which is roughly about 4 to 5 billion Jamaican dollars. Now, track star Usain Bolt was among the victims. Some investors lost their entire life savings, including a 78-year-old woman who said she was left financially ruined. From 2023 through to 2024, the saga shifted into the courts. SSL directors and regulators clashed over control of the company as it moved towards winding up. Now, there were multiple civil lawsuits, disputes over trustees, and legal battles over how assets should be handled. Still, thousands of securities, valued at more than 15 billion Jamaican dollars, were eventually returned to clients who were able to verify their accounts. Now, by 2025, attention turned to compensation. In April, a victims' compensation fund was established, with partial payouts expected to begin after complainants submitted proof of losses. Then came the latest twist. At the weekend, investigators made a major move. 3 former senior SSL officials, founding director Hugh Croskery, his daughter, former director Sarah Meany, and former CEO Zachary Harding were taken into custody after a joint operation in which 4 homes, 1 in St. James and 3 in St. Andrew, were searched and evidential items recovered. The following day, all 3 were hit with multiple criminal charges, including fraudulently inducing investments, operating without proper license, and breaching banking and securities laws. Now, head of the Constabulary Financial Unit, Inspector Brenton Williams, is pushing back at criticism over the pace and transparency of the investigation.
The complexity of this investigation cannot be overstated. The alleged fraud was long-standing and sophisticated. Probing it required a comprehensive review of events dating back to SSL's inception in 2006, including careful analysis of investor activity and how funds moved across the entire period. Work of this nature takes time and must be done diligently. We understand the public's expectation for swift results and that delays can be viewed negatively. However, the JCF, the FID, and our law enforcement partners, including MOCA, have the capacity and expertise to conduct these investigations thoroughly and bring matters forward in keeping with the rule of law.
With the new year a little over 2 days away, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is again warning against the practice of gun salutes during celebrations. Police say the salutes are illegal, dangerous, and will attract prosecution. Kevin Black tells us more.
Set to peak at midnight Wednesday. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is urging the public to avoid firing weapons as part of New Year festivities. Police warn the practice, commonly referred to as gun salutes, is illegal and has resulted in injuries, property damage, and even death. The JCF says anyone found engaging in or facilitating the practice will be prosecuted, and citizens are being encouraged to report incidents via the 119 emergency number or their nearest police station. But beyond enforcement, experts say the danger is real and unavoidable.
When you fire a ballistic projectile into the air, it comes down at almost the same speed it went up at. So the possibility of it causing serious harm or death is significant. In addition to this, licensed firearm holders all have a ballistic pattern recorded at the Firearm Licensing Authority. So the ability to trace that round once it lands also exists, and you can lose the firearm or be charged criminally for it.
Dr. Jason Mackay says many people in Jamaica and around the world have died because of gun salutes.
So it's not like it's not an empty warning. It's a significant occurrence around the world. Persons are killed because of this practice of firing into the air at New Year's Eve. This, all things considered, if you are the holder of a licensed firearm, better is expected of you.
The warning also extends to security personnel and private security companies.
For persons who operate security companies or persons who carry security company firearms, security companies have to account for their round every year, every single round. So if you do choose to do that, you're now going to have to explain at the end of the year to the FLA where those rounds are. Based on all of these considerations, I would seriously advise you not to discharge your weapons at New Year's Eve to celebrate the New Year.
The JCF is reminding the public that celebrations should not come at the cost of lives, and that ringing in the New Year safely is a shared responsibility. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
In the meantime, motorists heading into downtown Kingston are being advised of major traffic changes ahead of the annual Fireworks Festival. Police say several roads along Ocean Boulevard will be closed at varying times on New Year's Eve, with special arrangements in place to access designated parking areas. Drivers are being urged to obey police instructions and plan their routes in advance. And it's time now for a break, but stay with us. More when we come back.
You know, some days are harder than others, but we have to do our part. You like porridge? We're in this together.
Morning, nurse. Thank you for what you do every day.
Come in, nurse. Our bone of fear.
In this together.
Welcome back. We're continuing the news. Residents in Rose Heights, St. James once again blocked roads in protest today, disrupting traffic flow for hours, this time demanding better water supply. Crystal Williams tells us more.
3 months, 4 months, no water. No water. No, man, we're going to use our body, blocky road.
What began as quiet frustration in Rose Heights, Montego Bay, has swelled into a public outcry over years of water shortages. Residents are demanding urgent actions from authorities, insisting that their patients, like their pipes, is running dry.
From a move from a mobile, this community have no water. Before COVID, I work at Sunscape as an engineer. And then if we get water at 2 o'clock at night, and by 3 o'clock it's gone. Yeah, so it's not nothing to blame on Melissa. It's not a Melissa problem, it's a water problem.
Community members say they have reached out to Member of Parliament for St. James Central, Heroy Clark.
But why so long? Why so long we don't get no water? Right now, let me say this. You want me to say something?
In an interview with CVM News, MP Heroy Clark explained that the pump that provides water to the area is outdated.
Now what happened is that pump was put there 60s and the 70s. Rose Heights, they just start. So everybody could have get water then. Answer me, it is the same pump that pumps from Mount Salem.
Deputy Superintendent of Police Peter Salke says the necessary personnel from NWC have been contacted and arrangements are being made for the road to be cleared. Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
As of mid-2025, Jamaica's unemployment rate stood at a record 3.3%. But behind the numbers, questions remain about the quality of jobs many Jamaicans are doing as more people rely on informal work to make ends meet. Mark Stevens has been a vendor for over 30 years. Belts are his specialty, but he sells just about anything he can get his hands on. And this business financed the education of all 7 of his children, including his eldest, who's now a lawyer.
Sometimes it is very good, and the other time, it we don't not go on. Yeah. It never easy. It never been easy.
He's fully employed, yet he feels economically fragile. Mr. Stevens says his job helps to keep the lights on at home, but can't help to build a future.
I find a solution to build a house, and the solution to build a house.
Now, as of mid-2025, Jamaica's unemployment rate stands at a record low of 3.3%. This means that of the nearly 1.5 million Jamaicans of working age, just under 50,000 are without a job. Mr. Stevens thinks, in reality, that figure is much higher.
I don't see that, baby. I don't see.
Why is it?
Because Christmas, I think more money should be in circulation. Me in this thing a long time. Me do sales rep, me do security guard work, me do all type of work. As long as me can find for sell me to school, it not like us a baby.
People are working, but they are not seeing the rewards of working, the benefits of working, and that is a challenge.
Professor Andre Horton is an economist. He says structural conditions, which he describes as a slavery economy, is contributing to the exploitation of many Jamaicans in the labor force.
What you're seeing is that because of how Jamaica has been evolving as an economy, we don't focus on creating high-skilled, high-earning jobs. What we focus on is just basically creating any job. The real economy is not compensating them sufficiently enough for them to focus on their jobs. And what do I mean? You talk to a lot of people, they have a real work, yet they have a side hustle. So they spend most of their time doing the side hustle and less of their time doing their real work. So their real work, the productivity of that real work suffers.
He warns that unless the government addresses inefficiencies in the workforce, Jamaica's 3.3% unemployment rate means little in real terms.
We'll have a large elderly population that are unfinanced. Unfinanced meaning they have very meager pension or none at all, and they have to be filtered back into the labor market in order for them to stay afloat. And I don't think that any society, any economy should be looking that way. They must put in law that every company must have a pension scheme for its workers and a pension can be transferred and so on and so forth. They must put in law that job security requires them, and it's not, and it's they are at fault too, because the National Housing Trust, which is designed to provide homes for a lot of these people, is being used to finance the central government budget and not building sufficient houses. So we have inefficiencies all around where security for our families in need are concerned.
Renewed calls tonight for schools to move away from the shift system as the education sector moves into a new term. Principal of Old Harbour High School, Linton Weir, says the system is inefficient. Now, noting that many schools in Western Jamaica damaged by Melissa have introduced a shift system to allow students to return to the classroom, Mr. Weir says the system is manageable for now, but says he hopes longer-term alternatives will be explored. Now, notably, in August of this year, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon announced that the shift system will be removed from all public schools in the 2028-29 academic year.
There are schools that have decided that, look, we should now go on the shift system. That is something that was introduced to us in the 70s. Old Harbour High School is a shift school, and we have been doing very, very well with it. And even though we have been doing very, very well with it, we are saying it's time for us to move away from the shift system. But here it is, situation allow you to make changes. And here it is, principal leaders have decided that, look, we will have to shift our focus and bring back in the temporary the shift system for some of these schools. Outside of that, though, outside of the shift school returning to shift, we have also decided that, look, we are going to alter the learning experience in saying to our learners that certain grade will come in at certain days, so as to ensure that all our learners are back in the physical space, not getting the full sum support, but we are ensuring, especially those participating in CSEC and CAPE, that they are first taken care of.
Now, in a bid to prevent a post-Melissa economic freeze, Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ has initiated a special relief measure to help businesses in the worst affected parishes. By temporarily relaxing the strict criteria for tax compliance certificates, TAJ says it's clearing the path for local businesses to secure the contracts they need to recover. More from Crystal Williams.
Tax Administration Jamaica's special relief measure is geared towards supporting taxpayers whose business operations were disrupted by the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Chief Corporate Communications Officer Maurice Houghton explains that under the measure, TAJ will temporarily relax the criteria for obtaining a tax compliance certificate.
So persons will be able to get a TCC without having to meet the usual qualifications to get one. And this is for the persons in the worst affected parishes of Trelawney, St. James, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. Elizabeth, St. Anne, and Manchester.
The measure, which took effect on December 8, will remain in effect until March 31, 2026.
Now, this initiative is to allow persons to support them in their business recovery, who would need to have a tax compliance certificate to do business, whether to access a contract or for other essential services that a TCC is actually required.
She says until April 2026, business owners without certain outstanding obligations will not have to worry about being held back.
So they may not have been able to meet it otherwise, as they may have had outstanding obligations which would have disqualified them. However, to make it easier for them, we are doing this initiative as part of aiding in business recovery.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Starting this Friday, January 1, Jamaicans living in the United States who send money back home will have to pay a new 1% excise tax on those remittances. The measure is included in the U.S.-passed Big Beautiful Bill and is expected to impact thousands of Jamaican families who rely heavily on financial support from overseas. Director of Caribbean Immigrant Services, Erwin Clear, believes the 1% tax will not have an immediate impact on Jamaica.
In most cases, there are established expectations, established relationships where monies are sent for pre-existing conditions here in Jamaica. Those things will continue, recognizing that it'll be a little more to send it. I don't think it necessitates any real cutback there. Over time, however, as it permeates into the mindset of all and the realities, I should say, of persons in the States, because let's not forget, there are also some challenging economic times on the horizons for those in the diaspora as well, coupled with the ever-changing immigration rules and regulations. But this 1%, I don't think will have any kind of debilitating impact on Jamaica.
Engineering teams from Guyana are currently assisting residents in White House and Bluefields, Westmoreland with repairs as a part of the government's National Roof Repair Program. Engineers from Ghana, in the meantime, are currently in middle quarters and other severely affected communities in St. Elizabeth. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, is leading the rebuilding efforts with support from regional and international partners.
Early next year, meaning in January, we will then start to issue grants to persons who have been assessed. We have done over 40,000 assessments. We are hoping that by the time we are ready to do distribution, we will be over 50,000 assessments. The objective is to go up to about 90,000 assessments. And so we will be giving grants to, we're trying to cover all the households. Clearly, we won't be able to give everyone. But certainly everyone who we have assessed as being in need, that come to our attention and we have the resources, we will give grants. These grants, however, will not be, and they will just be upfront. You know, these are not grants that are going to be able to restore your entire house. For some, depending on the damage, it may. But for others, this is the government saying, here is something for you to start with, to help you with, to assist. All right? And I believe that that infusion of cash will itself have a positive impact on the economy.
It's time now for Small Biz Big Dreams with Kevin Black.
Tonight on Small Biz Big Dreams, we journey into the mind of Rudolph Shaba Montague, the man behind Shaba's National Fruit Store in St. Elizabeth. This is Small Biz Big Dreams. For more than 20 years, Shaba's Natural Fruit Store has been serving the people of Lacovia, offering nutritious, wholesome, and delectable delights.
So we just draw the little plan and just come up and say, all right, then I go out and get me little jelly and get me little pine and get me little orange and start that thing. Benefit me a lot because it you know, put on my pot and, you know, benefit me a lot, man. Make me just calm now, you know.
Shaba says it's the wide variety of offerings that keeps customers coming back, helping him maintain a loyal and expanding customer base.
I have coconut, I have pine, cane, coconut, peanut, orange. Yeah. So, and me have milk to drink, so you know. Just that. Yeah, man, and if you stop by, I have a cold jelly same way.
Beyond the variety, Shaba explains that cleanliness and presentation are key, creating a space that is both inviting and trustworthy for customers.
Just keep clean and just you know, my fruits are always clean enough, you know, see me have your food angle permit and everything. So, you know, clean so people want clean food for it and everything. So we just keep it clean. When you come and you want to find Shaba, just come right at the comb there.
as the Shabba. And then we got the crossroad, there's the high school there.
Next week, we head to Portland, where we meet a business built on precision, making uniforms with true uniformity. Until then, for Small Biz, Big Dreams, I'm Kevin Black.
Thanks, Kevin. And it's time now for a break, but stay with us more when we come back.
Fitness guy, I was surprised by my chronic illness diagnosis. I thought working out harder would fix it, but it wasn't enough. Now, my prescription meds are a part of my routine.
When I got my diagnosis, I really felt down and stopped spending time with the people I love. Then I decided not to let any disease get the best of me. And I'm committed to taking my meds as prescribed. On time, every time.
No hesitation. Take your medication. A message from the NHF. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Celebrate being together with a KFC Festive 9 bucket for $4,500. The time by KFC is
7:30 p.m.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Trans-Jam highways. Our automated T-Tag lanes reduce the cost of managing cash at our toll plazas. And drivers of Class 1 and 2 vehicles who use the T-Tag pay a lower toll fare than those who use the manually operated toll booths. They also get their 10th trip through any toll plaza free. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. T-Tag packages are discounted by 50% down to $1,250, including a $500 toll credit from December 8, 2025 until January 2, 2026.
Do you recognize the signs of dengue? Look out for these symptoms: high fever, severe headaches, joint and muscle pain, skin rash, nausea, and pain behind the eyes. If you experience these symptoms, rest, stay hydrated, and take paracetamol for pain relief. If symptoms persist beyond 3 days or worsen, such as persistent vomiting, severe abdominal pain, or difficulty breathing, seek medical attention immediately. Early treatment can save lives. Know the signs, act fast, together we can beat dengue. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and PAHO.
It's a season to share.
Get more to share this Christmas with the amazing 4 Plus from Pizza Hut. One amazing 4 pizza, family-sized cheese sticks or Cinna sticks, and a 2-liter Pepsi, all for $3,950. Pizza Hut, feeding good time.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. On this week's episode of Farming Forward, Giselle Mills takes you on a journey with Nutrimix to uncover how they're assisting poultry farmers to rebuild.
Farming Forward is brought to you by Nutrimix. Welcome to Farming Forward. Hurricane Melissa severely damaged our farming sector, leaving many farmers with pieces to pick up or start over. Nutrimix decided to jump on board with a special hurricane relief initiative to assist our farmers. Let's take a peek at what's happening. It's a season of giving, and guess what? We're here with Nutrimix, who's in a gift-giving mood, as they are on a mission to rebuild 100 chicken coops across the parishes that were affected by Hurricane Melissa. They've started here in Elim, St. Elizabeth, with a farmer who lost his chicken coop, and as you can see behind me, they've started to rebuild. Let's see where today's journey takes us. Commonly known to Jamaicans as chicken coop is actually the proper term. However, to maintain culture, we will keep it Jamaican. With Nutrimix, it's more than just providing feed and care for your farm animals. Nutrimix is always there with you.
And we want our farmers to know that it's not just talk. We're here with them. We actually want to assist them and to get them back to the lives that they're used to, or even better. So again, CB has prided itself on people first, and that is what we are trying to do here in St. Elizabeth.
Because I know that our company believes in people and small farmers. I know that we see them as a part of our
sustainability initiative. We believe in Jamaica's food security, and there is no way that we can have sustainability and food security without our small farmers. So when we took on this initiative, we were saying, how can we work together? Because we're a partnership. We have this symbiotic relationship and want to maintain it no matter what.
We want to make a difference, and at CV Group we like to make a difference. And we always say at Nutramix, we are right here with our farmers, and we are right here today. We do not only talk the talk, we walk the walk, and today we are building it.
Meet Conroy Malcolm. He is the first lucky recipient who made the list for Nutramix Hurricane Relief Initiative of curating townhouses for these lovely birds.
My tree unit was flat and I lost about 500 broiler chicks, so I was most elated. So I'm here today to see what will be the outcome.
After the devastation, Mr. Malcolm had a few chickens that survived. I heard that the chickens are actually housed somewhere up there. You put them down nice and comfortable so that they're safe. He had to get creative with keeping his flock safe. First batch was sheltered in a reconfigured space where warmth is a priority. Hello! Hi! Second batch was sheltered separately because they are the bigger chickens. Malcolm is excited for the chickens' new home.
After a while, they'll be in their new house and they'll be much more accommodating.
Dr. Patrick Craig gives some knowledge on the proper construction of a chicken coop.
You talk about that little thing at the front, so we want to construct a little section where we can mix up certain chemicals and put inside it as a foot bath. We always talk about something called biosecurity, and just to put that in context, what is biosecurity? Those are just steps or little things that we do to ensure that certain disease-causing agent doesn't end up in the house. We want the house to be at least 8 feet high at the highest point thereabout, because you want what we call ventilation, so you want the wind to blow through. And you'd have noticed that we only put one block height right here. So, the birds, they live on the ground. So if you build it too high, like what you see with many pig pens where the concrete wall is just too high, then the wind is just going to blow right over that. The birds are on the ground. They're not going to be able to be cooled properly. Dr. Craig added, as the birds get older, the need to be cool is priority. Warmth is for the younger chickens. The Nutramix crew is on a mission. Even throughout the rain, they remained focused on delivering their goals to rebuild the chicken coop promise.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. He's back a little now. You want to try the elbow? She's cool.
No. What for do?
Boy, you're in a position to say the right.
Okay, what for do?
Yeah, go some more. Yeah, there you go. Yes. There you go.
All right.
Lick it the center. You're going on fire.
Yeah, Anga. Where's the Anga? I want more Anga. Come on, Anga.
I am Druselle Mills. See you next week on Farming Forward. Farming Forward brought to you by Nutramix.
Thank you, Giselle. It's now time for regional and international news with Akeem Oret.
We begin with the news in the region. The Trinidad and Tobago Inter-Island Transportation Company Limited has withdrawn the TNT Spirit from service due to mechanical issues, cancelling all sailings until further notice while the vessel undergoes urgent repairs.
The APT James also remains out of service, leaving the Buku Reef and Galleons Passage to operate revised schedules to maintain inter-island travel. Revised sailings are for today, Monday. Galleons Passage departs Scarborough at 5 p.m. Buku Reef departs Port of Spain at 1:30 p.m. and Scarborough at 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m.
In international news, Donald Trump and